The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone, and welcome to February's Pensionmark webinar, where we will be discussing the Financial Wellness Program featuring a live demo of the Personal Financial Portal. We appreciate all of you taking the time to join us today. A few items to go over before we get started. First, in order to ensure everyone has the ability to hear the information presented by our guest speaker, everyone will be on mute during the webinar. Second, please feel free to type in any questions you have using the Q&A tool on your webinar menu. And at the end of the webinar, we will take some time to go through these. Now I'd like to introduce our guest speaker of Pensionmark, Deanna Bamford. Mrs. Bamford joined the Pensionmark team in 1992 after graduating from the University of California at Santa Barbara with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Communications. Mrs. Bamford is the Relationship Manager for Pensionmark's Northern California clientele and provides bilingual enrollment support to many of Pensionmark's clients. Mrs. Bamford has obtained the Certified Employee Benefit Specialist certification, and she is fluent in Spanish. And with that, I will turn it over to you, Deanna.
Thank you, Tori. Good morning, everybody, and we thank you again for your time and your commitment to learning more and preparing yourself for retirement, this grand vacation that we are preparing for, I like to think of it as. And so the goal today is to introduce you, or perhaps reintroduce you, to our financial wellness program, and specifically spend the majority of our time on our personal financial portal. And we feel this is just vital and so important, such a valuable tool to help us, help you better prepare for retirement, and that is the goal here. So we're going to start off with just an overview of some of our financial wellness program, and then we're going to get right into the heart of it and do a live demonstration for you on this portal, because sometimes I think it helps to just see it. It hopefully will encourage you to take advantage of it and try it out, because trust me, I am not your techie person. That is not one of my strengths. But I myself was able to figure it out and have found great value in it, and so I hope I can share that with you and assist you with it as well. So our financial wellness program, specifically one of the main factors of it is this financial wellness portal that we are going to demonstrate here. And what this will help you do is this gap analysis. It's just amazing. That can really help you get a defined picture of how close you are to preparing and funding your retirement needs. But in addition to that portal, we have a help center that's available to you from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., whatever time zone you're in, that we can assist you with your questions. We also have some online educational tools, newsletters and such that I'm going to get into towards the end of this webinar this morning after we do the live demo. And then as some of you may know, and perhaps some of you on the line that I've actually visited in person on site, we do provide some face-to-face live educational seminars as well as one-on-one consultations. So we're not trying to do away with those services. I'm still kind of the old school believer that nothing can replace a face and a voice, and we want to provide that benefit as well. But in these busy days and new times, I understand the need for social media and that quick connection and the tools that can really help us. So with that, let's go right into, I'm going to show you just a couple slides here to introduce you to this personal financial portal. I'd like to give you just a high-level overview of what this is all about. And then I will direct you to the website where you can log on and then get right into that portal. But so in this demonstration here on the slide that you see on your screen, I'm going to go clockwise and just talk about, again, some of the high-level information and benefits you can gain from the portal. So mainly it's just kind of a one-stop shop, have all your financial information viewable live, real-time in one place. So the screen that you're seeing right now is what we call the dashboard. So this is your home page, your landing page, and then you'll be able to see it more close up in the next slides. But again, kind of going around this flow chart, the main goal of this is you're going to be able to track your spending habits by monitoring your cash flow and your budgets and comparing your assets to your goals. You're going to have access to almost unlimited types of reports. You can take a look at your net worth and your cash flow and your investments. Investment reporting is amazing, how it can aggregate all your different investments, not just your 401k. And as I mentioned briefly, it is updated daily in real time. So on investments like your 401k that are mutual funds, they're traded once a day at the end of the business day, so that's updated daily. But if you have any other accounts, where you're filling in stocks or anything that's traded throughout the day, this site is updated real time. You can also, again, as I mentioned, you're able to monitor all your accounts in one very secure location. And this is a non-transactional site, so you are able to view everything you have and see reporting, but you're not able to transfer money between funds or take money out, obviously, so it's non-transactional, which helps with the security, of course, and I'll talk more about the security after. You also have mobile access to any kind of smartphone you have, Android, iPhone, iPads, so that you can have this at your fingertips, at your disposal. And then we will go through some of the workshops that are available on the site, so interactive workshops to really help you think about and prepare for not only retirement, but there are also workshops on there on funding for college education and investing and life insurance protection, those types of things as well. And then finally, it does some additional little tracking for you on frequent flyer miles and helps you track any rewards that you have from credit cards or hotels and points, so that you can keep track of those and not let them expire without using them. So this is all the good stuff, things that we can look at. And then the next slide here on slide number 4, just going to give you a quick little preview of when we start looking at the reporting capabilities, specifically under the retirement. It does this, what we call the employee gap needs analysis. And I know some of you have, perhaps done some of this gap needs analysis on your provider website, wherever your 401k is, and they have some great tools. But the nice thing about this is that because of all the data and all the linked accounts that you have and you've input into this portal, we can really come up with a true picture of how long your savings is going to last during retirement based on good, true information. And you can include not just yourself, but your spouse, your significant other, and your ages and any outside accounts. And so we'll take a look at this on the demo, these little wheel and these charts to show you how long your money's going to last. So with that said, we're going to go right to our Pensionmark retirement group home page. This is our website. And we want to show you this, and we're going to actually refer back to this later in the webinar, because this is a great resource for you. I'd love you to have this, bookmarked as one of your favorite sites, because right here at pensionmark.com, and again, we'll give you that address at the end, here's your link to the financial portal. So this is our home page, and then right here you've got the link to log into your portal. So once you've set that up, you click that link, and typically once you click it, you're going to be asked, of course, for your username and your password. But we have set up here a demonstration account. So this is a demo account. So at this point, the username and password has already been input, and this is your landing page. So here's a closer view of the dashboard, as I called it during that last slide. So this would be your data live, these tiles here that would show up either on your smartphone or on your computer, access to you at your fingertips. And so I'm going to go through these tiles quickly here, and then we're going to look at the top here and go through kind of one by one on how you get set up, so that, and then once you are set up, how you can best utilize this tool to help you with your financial needs. So right here at the top left-hand corner, we've got our Pensionmark information. We always want you to know how to contact us. We're here to support you in managing this tool. And then right next to it here, you have net worth, and then next to it, investments. Now these tabs, you see the little arrows, they're interactive. So you're able to scroll through them to get more information. Interactive, updated, again, live updates. And I'm going to show you how, again, that we're going to input this information to get this. And then in the middle here, you have your spending and your budgets, again, with the interactive tools, different ways of looking at your cash flow, deposits, withdrawals, and then your budgets as well. So I just wanted to point out that Pensionmark, we are here to help support the system. We're here to help you. We do not have access to view this center portion, your spending and your budgets. We don't feel, we feel that's obviously private information and don't feel that it would assist us in helping you so much plan for retirement. So we're blocked off from that. That's for you to manage. If you wanted to, you could allow us access if you felt it was necessary. But again, our main goal is to help you with your investments and help you get to your retirement goals. I just want to point that out. And down here at the bottom, you've got a screen for protection. So this is where you could view and see what life insurance policies you have, what type of protection you have set up for yourself and your family. And then the bottom right-hand corner tile here is the mobile access. So you can, well actually, what it is a little informational tile. So if you have questions, there's great little quick information on how to access. So when we talked about managing your rewards and the mobile access. And let's scroll through here. We have a tour guide here, so sometimes you're going to see this nice little picture of this young lady here, and she could help give overviews and answer questions. So this is kind of a help center here, I would say. And then, of course, you always can refer back to Pensionmark if you have questions as well. And then lastly here, this is the account. So this is what all this information on net worth and investments and spending comes from, is these accounts that you will have set up. So you've got your cash account. So here's where you probably, and I'm going to show you how connected your bank accounts, your checking accounts and such. You've got all your credit cards linked to the site so that you can truly see where you're spending and what your balances are. Your investments, this is the big one here, the tabs. So this would include, of course, your 401ks, but anything else you have saved investment-wise. This can be IRAs, individual retirement accounts, brokerage accounts, other annuities, anything perhaps that you've designated as an investment. And then, of course, you have your life insurance needs, any loans down here. So this, for anybody that owns a home, of course, your largest loan is going to be your home mortgage. And you can link up your account there, and that's going to go into, obviously, your debt ratio and track that for you. So this is for any loans that you might have outstanding. And then finally, the final classification for accounts, the sixth one is property. So here you can include property investments, your home or any other property that you have, which is nice as well because, again, many of the other sites that you might use, provider sites, may not include, doesn't give you the opportunity to include a home or something that you truly have earmarked as part of your retirement plan, as part of your savings. So again, there's the dashboard, and you've got lots of control and tools, and sometimes this is all you need is a quick snapshot. You just want to know currently what are your investments worth, how are they doing today, your net worth. So it's all here. So now let me show you, how do you populate that? How do you get to this information? So we're on the home. I'm going to go to the very next tab here, the organizer tool. And we're going to spend some time here because this is where you're going to spend some time, hopefully, setting up your account initially. The good news is, like I mentioned in the beginning, I am not a highly technical, computer savvy person. I use it for what I need to do, but I found this so easy to do, so I hope you feel the same. So as you get to the organizer, the first thing you want to do is start linking your accounts. So the first tab you see here is accounts. And click here, and this is where, now again, this is a demonstration, so this has already been pre-populated. In this example, this couple or this individual that's using the account has preloaded all their accounts. yours is going to be obviously blank the first time. So the first thing you're going to do is hit the Add button. And then I had mentioned very briefly there's lots of security on this site, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of backtracking here, but back on our homepage or on YouTube, we have videos on the security and how that works. There is so many checks and balances to make sure that your site is secure, that nobody is able to hack into it. Again, it's never happened because of all the security, but if something unforeseeable were to happen, again, it's a non-transactional site. But one of the main things I want you to understand about the security, you are going to link your account. So as I just push Add Account, it asks you here to enter your institution's name or website address. So here you can put, you know, the first time I just put in Bank of America because I wasn't sure, you know, what do I call it? I didn't know the website address offhand. So just even putting in the name of the institution, it's a pretty forgiving system. It'll give you a list of the different accounts available under that institution's name. And so I just, you know, selected which one that looked appropriate, and yes, Bank of America, that looks right, and then click on it. And then right away it takes me to the Bank of America link, and it asks for your online ID and passcode. So this is the same one you would use if you were logging into your account. So again, maybe start with your 401k. That's the easiest one. Go ahead and type in your provider, whether it's, you know, Fidelity or Empower or Principal, whatever your home website is, and then the same password you use when you log into that site, and then hit Connect. And so this is a link that you only have to do one time. One time you make this link, and immediately it connects to your account and your information becomes available. But with the security that is involved, it's called, I believe it's called a scraping or scrubbing technology, where immediately no passwords are stored. So again, you do this link once, you're connected, and you should not have to go back in and reconnect or do this link again. You will not be asking you for passwords every time. Occasionally, institutions, financial institutions, perhaps upgrade their security or change their systems, and then if the link is broken, then you might have to go back in and redo it. That shouldn't happen very often. So this is how you're going to go through and add accounts. Again, include everything you can think of. You can link in your home mortgage, life insurance, annuities, IRAs, your spouse's 401ks if they have it, or pension plans, or 403bs. And then, again, the banking, your banking and your credit cards, that is what's going to help create and pre-populate your account, so that when you go to view them, you've got all that information, and it will classify it for you under whether it's an investment, the cash, you know, the spending that we saw on the home page. It will do that classification for you. So let me see here. Let me get back to my organizer. Just having a bit of a delay here on my controls for some reason. Here we go. Here we go. I kind of scrolled. I apologize. I'm moving faster than my screen is for a change. So the next tab down, so the first one was the accounts. So once you've added your accounts, everything that you can think of, you've linked it in, everything that you have access to, you know, via the internet. Then the next tab down is your real estate. So here is where you can add in, and again, there's the add button at the top, and this has already been pre-populated. You can add in your primary residence, and that allows you to put in the estimated value, what you think it is. And if you have any other personal property, business property, anything else you want to add, again, the more detailed you are, the better the output, the information you're going to get. The next tab down here is to put in your family and friends, mainly your immediate household. You want to put in your information, so you add, you know, yourself and get your birth date in there. That's important because the some of the reporting, all that is going to be based, especially when you're looking at your retirement, is going to be powered by your birthday, your projected retirement date. So you want to get that in there for yourself and your significant other, and any children too, especially if you're going to do some college planning. If you have accounts, like for myself, I had to link the college education funds or 529 plans. So once you have all your family members listed there, then you can assign names to the accounts and know who they're for. Again, this is just going to help you in the organization when you go to do the workshops. So once you've added your family members, you click down here to the next button. Here's your professional contacts. We've already pre-populated. Make sure you always have our Pensionmark information. But you're able, this is where you're able to add, if you'd like to add your accountant, CPA, perhaps, if you have a legal advisor, an attorney, any other professional contacts that would be helpful for you to have their contact information, you can load it here. And again, this is a great account if you're sharing with your spouse or significant other so that you both have access to the same information in the same place. Continuing down here, we're still on the organizer tool and we're just loading up your information so that you've got everything you need. So here's the income, expenses, and savings. And this is great. If you've already linked your accounts, your checking and your credit cards and done all that, unless you work completely, in cash, then you can actually have it estimate your spending from your accounts that you've linked. And so you can go ahead and click that button and it will categorize all your spending. It's pretty amazing, and it's pretty accurate as well. It knows if you're at the grocery store, you're at a store that sells food, it's going to categorize it as groceries. And you have automatic payments to your utilities for all your home expenses. It's going to categorize it as utilities. Now you're able to actually go in and itemize each item because when I went in and I looked at mine, and it was pretty accurate, like I said, but in some cases I wanted to customize it. It said I grocery shop and then I get the gas discount at Safeway. And so sometimes my spending, it even said Safeway fuel, but it categorized it as food. And so I went ahead and changed it to, no, that's fuel for my car. And then after a while, it gets to know you, the system, and will start categorizing it correctly. So here you can itemize, but you can at least to start just quickly estimate from spending, and it'll get you started. And then again, as you have used this portal for a few months, the longer you're in it and using it, the more accurate it's going to be. So that's income and spending. We're going to go down to the next tab here, future goals. So again, it's going to pre-populate your retirement age, and you can change these if you'd like. If you have any education expenses that you wanted to add, you can do that here. Any other major expenses, so if you're saving for to purchase a home or any other major expenses, you can add all those in there manually. And then let's go down here to financial priorities. So this has yourself, and then if you have your spouse here, and you can change your priorities, and you can simply just kind of move them, drag them down, and change the order. And right now, maybe saving for college is the #1 priority, but maybe Mary says, no, retirement is my #1. I'm focusing on that right now. And you can move these around to create your priorities. And then finally, this is important too, don't forget this last step, is the risk tolerance questionnaire. And although you've probably seen these before, perhaps filled one out before, it's a good thing to do. And if you get this in here and saved, it will be helpful again later when you go to the investments and the workshops and you're looking for solutions on getting that money, closing that gap in retirement, and maybe you're thinking, oh, if I just could be a little more aggressive, perhaps I can get to my goals. It's going to look back on your risk tolerance questionnaire. There's 12 questions here, and you're going to be able to go through and answer them. They're quick questions, based on your tolerance for risk. 12 questions. You get down to the very end here after you've answered it, and it gives you a score or scale, risk score, down at the bottom, anywhere from conservative to moderate to aggressive, and you're going to land somewhere on this, and then you can save your information. And again, that's just going to be useful information when you go to do projections and workshops. So with that, hopefully then you've got your organizer done, you've got your input done, and you can always go back and revisit and add accounts here. You can delete accounts if something closes, a payment is done, a loan is complete. Okay? So actually, before I go to workshops, let's go quickly over here to the spending tab. This is where you can, again, this is where it really breaks down. So once you've either done an estimate or you've gone in and really spent some time on your spending, here you can get a full overview, a nice little pie chart colored by what you are spending, the category you're spending it on. So here you've got your auto, transportation, business, cash, and it creates this history of your spending. And then you can click over here to your budgets, and it can show you your overall budget and what you're spending and how much in each. And this, again, this can be a pretty eye-opening and pretty powerful to see where the money is coming from. And again, you can adjust this and change it as needed, and hopefully that'll be useful information. And then you can also look at transactions. So again, because you've created those links, it knows all the transactions you've done and categorized it for you. So you can go in and see every transaction that has happened, withdrawal, transfer, where money has been spent. So again, this all goes into your spending. And then if we move over here to investments, and again, remember, this is what we do not have access to view for you, but it hopefully is a great tool to help you in planning and preparing and knowing what you have. So the next tab here is the investments. Now this would include everything that you put in under investment. So this is going to be where your any 401ks are, any college savings accounts, IRAs, and it's going to give you a summary, a full summary of all your accounts and the change in the market. So again, as we said, this is a live site, and even if there's intraday trading, you can log in and know how your investments are doing that day. So here's a summary of everything you have, and you can also see here the investment account. So this is all of them. If you just want to really drill it down, and I just really want to look at my one brokerage account or whatever particular investment you want to look at, you can do reporting and look on that as well. The next tab over, so this is the summary. The next one is the allocations. And this is great too, because this is a common question and concern is people have when we're meeting with you regarding your 401k, am I investing appropriately, and is this, a good mix for my age and my time horizon, but my spouse does it this way, and then also if you have an IRA that, is just invested in one particular asset class, we have to take all those things into account. So this is so powerful in that it shows you everything you have and breaks it down by asset class. So again, you can look at all your investments in aggregate, or you can drill down and pick particular ones if you just want to look at the ones, earmarked towards retirement or college funding, and take a look at it. But this is an aggregate and will show you where is your money truly. So sometimes it's hard to know that because you're in mutual funds, or perhaps you're in a target date series inside of a retirement plan, and you're not really sure what percentage or how much of your money is in equities or stocks in the U.S., how much is in bonds, tax-exempt and taxable, and others that you might have unclassified and cash. So again, this really gives you a nice summary overview of what you truly have. And this is where, you can do some really nice reporting. And then we've got the analysis tab, so you can really take a look at historical returns, what's the performance been, your net change. You can take a look at 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, lifetime analysis. And you can take a look also at transactions, what has taken place, any trading, any activity that's gone on inside any of your investments. So that's the investment tab. Next is the vault, and I'll just quickly talk about the vault. So this is somewhere where you can store electronically, upload and store your documents, your files. This can be an amazing tool, especially again for a family. So this can be one location where you can save those documents, life insurance policies and other types of policies that, most of us have files for them, but maybe they're not in a, fireproof safe, or perhaps we're not as organized as we hoped we would be, and something were to happen and your significant other, your spouse, needed to access a document. This is a great place to have it all in one place. And then down here at the end is the reporting features. And again, as I had mentioned, it's almost limitless, the types of reporting that you can do based on all your assets that you have. And here it's going to show you your current assets. And then over here to the right, so here's all your assets, your current allocation based on all the information you've input and the fees that it's receiving. And then based on your risk tolerance questionnaire, here's a recommended portfolio, again, based on that questionnaire you took in the beginning. So that you can compare and say, ooh, I didn't realize I'm a little heavily weighted in one area and I'm lacking in another. And so, again, good information, and not just on your 401k, but an aggregate of everything you truly have, all your assets. So the type of, again, reporting you can do, and again, you can select, it doesn't have to be all assets. You can take a look at just your retirement assets. You can take a look, especially when you're doing these comparisons, that makes more sense for the recommended. And the recommended portfolio as well. Can either be based on all assets or just on your retirement benefits. So that is the reporting feature. And I wish, again, there's so much, we could spend so much time, and this is something on your own, and as you're going through it, again, you can refer back to those tutorials on that home screen or call us, because I don't possibly have time to show you every single feature, but hopefully give you a flavor of what you can do. And then so now I want to end here with the workshops. Well, the workshops, I'm going to show you one other thing. So the workshops, this is the third tab up here at the top. This is some powerful information. You've got workshops on investments, on finances, and down here on family protection, life insurance, and on college. If you want a real eye-opener, you can go into the college planning and take a look at, your children's age, and if they have, you have a goal for what type of education or university you want to attend, and do some projections on what it's going to cost. That can be a scary exercise to do, but a necessary one. So again, there's all these workshops, but I would like to focus right now on the retirement. Are you saving enough for retirement? So I'm going to click on that workshop here. And again, we encourage you to go in and really look through these and ask questions again at the end of this seminar if I just breezed over something too quickly, and we'll try to respond to you. But the Saving for Retirement workshop, here we go. You see this wheel that we looked at the slide. And again, so from here, you've already input all your investments and you and your spouse's retirement ages. And again, these are all interactive tools, so you can go in and adjust it, but it's already, what it's done is it's pre-populated according to your current savings, and you've already input your contributions in on how much you're currently contributing, including any company contribution and match. So here is where you would, I clicked on contributions, so here's Stephen and Mary again in our demonstration, in our example. How much are they contributing monthly to your retirement plan? What is the employer contributing? Very important to factor that in if there is a match available at your plan. And again, your spouses, you want to put in their contribution, any match there, and any other investment accounts if you're contributing to outside of your plan. So if you had an IRA or anything else. So once you have all that information, it is taking that all into consideration when calculating how long your retirement savings money will last and when you're going to run out. So when you see that you are not fully funded, they're going to base it on life expectancy and on the retirement age that you select and on your current savings amount, your contribution amount, your retirement income, what you're going to need. Inflation's already factored in there, and the growth rate is factored in based on your risk tolerance. So again, you can go in and adjust these. If you feel like, you know, inflation's actually a little lower than 3.75%, you can adjust that. Savings growth rate, but be cautious if you say, well, I can get to my goal if I just invest a little more aggressively. That certainly looks like it can fill, you know, your need, but that is not realistic, and it's not recommended that you're going to get this little warning sign because that's not a feasible, appropriate rate of return based on your risk tolerance and reality. In the market, there's, you know, to be able to try to shoot for those types of returns, you're going to have to take on way more risk than you need to take. But you see that it's live, so if you go in and make any adjustments, perhaps you change your retirement ages. That's, you know, an easy one to do. The hope a lot of times is to retire early, but perhaps if Mary doesn't retire at 62, if she waits until 65 or 66 here in this example, there you go. You've just funded 3 more years of retirement. So again, interactive tools and to really show you what you can do to close that gap. And that's our goal. And this is the portion of the portal that Pensionmark that we want to help you with in any way that we can. And by having access to this information, we can work with you and through all these different options to really customize your strategy and fill your years to retirement. And then there was different ways of looking at it, these buttons down at the bottom. So the first was the wheel, the next one is the asset. So you can take a look at your assets as they're growing, growing, growing. Then when you get to your retirement age, the red is the drawdown or withdrawal. So you're just trying to draw it down and leave enough assets in there to continue to earn for you, and you want them to last to a certain amount. So that's another way of looking at it. And then the last tab here, you can look at your details on what's available today and just kind of break it down into numbers. Okay, so different ways of looking at it. And again, this is where we really just feel the value in this tool is specific to retirement. I hope that you find it valuable in just overall your financial picture in your life, and spending and budgeting, that is all part of it. And then so finally, I want to share up at the top here, there's an education center, help, join screen sharing session. So that is if you want either us or also you can give access to another financial planner in your life if you've got, you know, here we're coming up on tax time. So if you wanted to allow your accountant to have access to this information, it could be helpful, and they could have access to some of those documents in your vaults that they need. And so you can join screen sharing. And then the last one here before the logout is the settings. So I'm going to click on the settings one and show you one more little thing that I believe you might find useful. So on the settings, once I clicked on here, I got these alerts. And you can set to have notifications automatically sent to you. So you can have it emailed to just you or to you and your spouse. You can just have homepage notifications and tell them how often. So if you would like once a week or once a month, hey, I just, you know, send me a reminder. I want to see that homepage notification. I want to see where I'm at. If you're not checking it every day. And then you can actually set personal alerts. So you can say, okay, when my cash balance, so my checking balance gets below a certain amount, I would like an alert, a little alarm saying, okay, you know, you're below your $500 threshold or whatever that may be for you. Or you can also have it set an alert when your credit card balance gets too high, gets to a certain level. Or if you have a particular investment that you'd like to know when it drops to a certain level, you can have it send a little alarm alert to you. So a lot of customization features that you can have it do, again, just to help you in managing this whole financial life that you have that can be so complicated. And then here's where the security measures are. If you ever wanted to change your password, your security questions, that's done here. And then finally the privacy, as I had mentioned, Pensionmark, we do not have access We do not have full access to everything you have, but you have the option here if you wanted to allow us to for whatever reason. Okay. So with that, let me just kind of take us back to the home page just so you have something to look at here as we're exiting. But we're going to go right back to our webinar presentation. I'm going to cover a few more features of our financial wellness program at this point. That concludes our live demonstration. And so, again, just want to remind you that we do have, in addition to all these fun features online, we have live bodies ready and willing to assist you by calling our toll-free number during the business hours, as I mentioned, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. We can talk to a registered representative. We have bilingual representatives that can assist you and log into your account and guide you. And then next, we have our Employee Retirement Connect. So I'm actually going to show you in a minute here. We're going to go back to our Pensionmark homepage. This is where we have all this available to you. We also have it available. Some of you may be receiving it automatically via email, but if you are not, we have with this Education Center that you can either enter up here at the top of the Education Center, or you can click on individuals right from our homepage. So it's going to land on corporations. You can click on individuals, and then once you click on individuals, then right the first tab there is the Investor Education Center. You click on that, and here are all the tools that are available to you. So we have our newsletters. We've got our market insights, which are going to be investment and market-based materials. We've got financial calculators that are available to you. Everything from, you know, how is this going to affect my take-home pay, my taxes, to budgeting, all kinds of calculators available. Articles that might be of interest to you. So if you're just, you know, you've been thinking about IRAs or mutual funds, how that works, you can do that. And then here, very important, I wanted to point out the second to last one here are our webcasts. So again, thank you for taking the time today and joining us. But if you're not able to, you know, at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, log in, you can click on the webcast and view all of our pre-recorded, or not pre-recorded, I should say recorded webinars available to you. You can peruse through and find topics that are of interest to you. So this will be recorded as well. So great. And then finally at the end there's some educational videos. And so I also want to show you down here at the bottom, we have the personal financial portal to the right here. And I forgot to mention that's right on our homepage. There's some videos, some financial videos there as well to just quick overviews of how it works, the portal. Hopefully you have a better idea now, but it has the portal security video as well if you're concerned about security, and the mobile features as well. So again, the educational videos, other ones that we have both in English and Spanish, are available there. So that's our Education Center. We'll go back and just wrap up here quickly. So we talked about those. We talked about our online Education Center. So then again, as I had mentioned, we have all these deliverables and tools online via the webinars, but we also, again, we still are committed when appropriate and when necessary to meet face-to-face, one-on-one, or in a group presentation, and to personalize it and talk to you about your needs. And again, that can be done, you know, whether face-to-face or over the internet or email as well. And then finally, of course, other ways to stay connected. So if you don't have the benefit of, you know, sitting, or I don't know if I should say benefit or curse of sitting at a computer all day, there are other ways to stay connected and other outlets for those of you that like the social media avenue. We have a Facebook page, and you can follow us on Twitter or watch our videos on YouTube or follow us on LinkedIn. And these are just other ways for you to stay informed on what's happening in the retirement world and what's going on and what's available to you and any news that might be coming out. So if you stay connected to any of these social media methods, you'll get, you know, news feeds and information kind of pushed to you, and it's just a reminder, another way without you having to go out and think about it, to stay connected and stay involved. So finally, I just want to put up here, and I will turn it back over to Tori, but here's all the information that I referred to earlier. We'll leave the screen on as questions come in. It's our toll-free number, and again, our website, that pensionmark.com, and that's where that homepage was, and that's where the link to the portal was. So I hope you become familiar with that site and utilize the information. So with that, I thank you again for your time. And Tori, if there's any questions that have come in, I'd be happy to address those.
Great. Thank you, Deanna. We certainly appreciate you sharing your time and knowledge with everyone here today. And we will now start addressing some of the questions that have been filtering in. Please remember that if you have any additional questions, you can submit them using the Q&A tool on the webinar menu. And as always, as Deanna mentioned, you can reach out to your dedicated service team at Pensionmark for any plan-specific questions. Our first question. Bank of America has rejected my credentials over and over again. What should I do, or who should I call?
Interesting. Let's see, I would first probably go back to the True Bank of America website where you do your banking checking and make sure it's put in those same credentials. And if it's linking you in and they are indeed correct, then perhaps the link you are selecting is incorrect, because as you saw when I put it in there, it gives you quite a few choices. So if your home bank was in a different state, or perhaps it's a different place, I would give us a call. That's something, let's look at that with you, but that's a good cross-reference. Go right to the site where you typically log in at Bank of America and check the web address, at the top there, and make sure that when you're linking in that it's the correct account. That's all I can think of, because I know from experience there's not a problem with Bank of America. I'm just thinking it might be the wrong account. So let us help you. I would say call a Pensionmark representative if you're not having luck still after trying. Good question. I'm sorry for the difficulty.
Our next question. I signed up for the portal access. What is the normal response time to receive login information?
Good question. It depends. There's a few different ways to sign up. If you did it perhaps during a live group meeting and you completed a form, sometimes that takes just a few days for that paper form to get back into our office and have the right person put you in the system. And then once you are, though, you should receive 2 emails, one from Pensionmark with a temporary password and another one from eMoney with your temporary username. That part is quick, but I would say call us if you feel like it's been longer. With paper and a paper sign-up, there's always human error or chance for it to have gotten lost, or if for some reason we don't have your email correctly. So typically it should be fairly quickly. If you signed up on a form, it should be within a few days. And if that hasn't happened, then please do contact us immediately.
What happens if I can't find an account in the organizer? Who do I contact?
Good question. There's few rare cases that it's a small or local institution, credit union. I would, again, first go directly to that institution and ask how they are registered, their legal name. I had an issue with that with my husband. Has this pension plan at work, or his 401k was just a very unique provider, and we finally did get in. I had to keep trying different parts of the name. So the easiest way I would say is to go back again to that institution online, to their site, and find any keywords, or even copy and paste the link, the website. And then if you're still having problems, call us. Again, call Pensionmark and see if we can't, perhaps one of us have experience with that and can assist you.
Great. Thank you, Deanna. It appears that we have no more questions at this time, so this will conclude our webinar session today. Thank you to all of you for your participation. I hope everyone has a great day, and we look forward to our next webinar series with you. Take care.